بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين. So we are back with another Bunyaan meeting, and we have Brother Umair, Brother Ahmad, Brother Abdul Wahid, and myself. In the last week, we got some work done. Brother Ahmad was able to create the GitHub project for us and assign the issues to different members. And we got 2 of the issues that were assigned completed. Today we're just gonna quickly go over those issues and close them out. The first issue that we actually fixed during our call last week, but we didn't create a pull request for it and merge it. That's one of the issues that was fixed. The issue with the previous hash, if you guys watched the video from last week, and the other issue was the issue with the 2 buttons showing at the same time. Unfortunately, I cannot demo what the problem was because it's already fixed. But basically, when we are at a specific page on the website or on the in the front end, we want to either show the pay rent button or the become a partner button. Previously, it was showing both. Now, if the loan is granted, only the pay rent button is showing, and if the loan is not granted, only the become a partner button is showing. So that was the fix, and obviously we're going to change that as well. That's just for our testing. We wanted to make that quick change. So today we're going to begin with just quickly demoing the whole project with multiple nodes, because I think that is something that we have not done yet. So let me go ahead and run the server. Okay, and then also run the front end. npm or port 3 npm start. Okay, so this is gonna make sure that it's running on port 3000. So before the first node that we should run is the node that that uses port 8000. The reason for that is we need that's kind of like our master node. We need a node that is running for every other node that connects to the network to talk to and broadcasts its address and receive the addresses of the other node in the network. So it's crucial to have this node running before running the other nodes. So now that the node is running, yeah, so it is running, and the front end also is running. So this is basically the front end. It's very simple. Obviously, you're just trying to create a proof of concept. We're going to try to make it look fancier as well, but for the time being, this is how it looks. This is the home page. My wallet needs some work. Basically, this shows the balance of the basically person that's logged in. Pending transactions, if there are any pending transactions, they show up here. This is where we create transactions. If you want to send money to a particular wallet address, this is where we send it. If you want to create a smart contract to ask for loans, this is where we create the smart contract. And if we want to get all these smart contracts that are created, we can use this link. And this is an extra link. It is not needed anymore. I added it early on, but at this point we can just use this. So this Musharaka investment page will basically list all the smart contracts, all the properties, or all the requests for loans through smart contracts. And basically, if a person wants to become a partner, they come here and they they allow the people, they will choose a property or multiple properties to lend money to. So that's the basics of the front end. Now let me quickly go ahead and create a transaction so you could see how it works. So this is where you would put a person's wallet address, because we don't, this is this is a demo, we don't really need a real one. So let's say I'm sending $343 to this wallet address. I add the transaction, it goes into the pending transactions. I can add one more, or I can mine the transactions. Let me just go ahead and please note that here right now we only have one block, but once we mine the transaction, we'll have multiple blocks. So here, if I mine transaction, I come here, we have two blocks, right? And it's showing the hash and also the previous hash. So this is the basics. And here, if I come here, I can create a smart contract. But before I do this, let me run up the other nodes, start up the other nodes as well. One of the things that we did was we made multiple changes in the front end that are not that I didn't copy over to the other nodes. So let me try to quickly do that, and hopefully that's going to be a simple task. I have the command somewhere. Okay, let me start all over. ls, okay, pwd cd up front end, okay, pwd, okay.
So you're going to the second clone of the repo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find my way around. Okay, so this is it. Okay, cd, this was ls, so I'll do copy Bunyaan. Okay, so before I do that, let me just remove the front end, remove -r minus f front end here, and then I'm just going to copy the other one over. Copy -r Bunyaan front end. I think I'm just going to do a dot. Hopefully it's going to copy the folder as well. Yes, okay. So it did what we wanted. I'll do the same thing for the other node. Remove -r minus. Copy. Okay, something I need to do here is I need to change the packet.json to point to the right the blockchain instance, right? So here, if you guys remember, we had to change these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we have 801. So this one would be 2. Okay, and then do the same thing here. Front end vi packet.json. This would be 8001. right? Okay, so let me make sure the changes were took. This is 8001, and this is 8002. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let me go ahead and start up 801 first. Okay, now I also need to start up the front end. So this would be port equals 301 and npm start. Oh, okay, so I need to do something else as well. I need to remove the node modules because these node modules, we copy them over, right? And
You need to clear them.
yeah, and do another npm install, npm install. I'll do the same thing here. npm install. Okay, so this is done. Now we can go run this guy. Okay, so now we have this running as well. You notice how even though it started from scratch, um, right? It already knows there are two blocks. Why? Because this node was running and it has two blocks. So when this node came up, it communicated with this node and updated itself with the latest, with all the blocks, the chain, the complete chain, right? So now here, this is obviously, it's not loading yet. Let me go ahead and run this as well. This is gonna be 8002. And here as well, we need to, yeah, I did that already. So the port equals 3002, npm start. Okay, now it should come up. Someone had a question. Did someone raise their hand by any chance? I heard a beep.
No,
Okay.
not me.
Sorry, that
Not.
was me in the chat. I just said nice.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. And I also got your text messages, brother Ahmed. So it's all good. Okay, so here as well, 3002, it just started and it has two blocks, right? Why? Because it was it broadcasted its address to this guy, and this guy updated it with all the blockchains and all the other nodes that are already in the network. So that's why if I go ahead and add a smart contract here, or hopefully this works. I'm not sure if I made any changes that may have broken things, but hopefully not. So let's say this there's a home at 232 I don't know, Piety Street, right? uh, San Diego, California 91212. 123. I'm not even sure if that's a correct zip code. The price is, let's say, $100,000, and the down payment. Let's say I have I have $10,000 to pay, right? And then the seller is, I don't know, a river agents, a river real estate. I don't know, river agency. I don't know, whatever. So let's go ahead and begin the smart contract. So this basically, now if I go to pending transactions, we have a pending transaction, because when you create a smart contract, it has its own special transaction for creating smart contracts. So now I have that transaction, and I'm going to notice that here we only have two. Here also, in all the nodes, we only have two blocks, right? So if I come here and mine the transaction, I end up having three transactions here. If I go here and refresh, I have three. If I go here and refresh, I have three, right? And the thing is, there are no servers, meaning this is not a client-server relationship. This is all the nodes are connected to each other. So as soon as one node is updated, it updates all the other nodes. So when we added a block here, it updated all the other nodes in the network. So now, let's say someone has logged in, and obviously, as we discussed last week, something that we still need to do is create a user interface where users can log in and create an account and get a wallet and do all of that. That still needs to be done. That's something maybe we could do in the next iterations, but that's not implemented right now. So right now, let's assume that someone has logged in, that they see that someone's asking for a loan. They see the address, the seller is River Agency, and the price is this much. The down payment that the borrower has already put, has put down is 10,000, and they're asking for 90,000. Right? They click on SC details. They get an option to become a partner. Right? And previously, the bug that we fixed was the issue that we fixed was that both become a partner and also pay rent. There are two buttons here. One was the one that we see right now, and also another one that said pay rent. So right now, whenever the loan is not granted or there's remaining, there's still money that is being asked, meaning the full loan is not granted, the pay rent is not option is not shown. And obviously these will be, once we have different users logging in, these will be separated. For example, the user is who's asking for a loan will not see become a partner button, right? However, the users who are trying to invest and log in to invest in the properties, they will see a become a partner button, right? So that's small detail. So here, let's say I am, I 90,000 is needed. Let's say I have $45,000, and I'm gonna pay $45,000 to the person, right? Or actually, let's divide it evenly. Let's say, so I'm gonna pay $30,000. I'm gonna lend $30,000. So as soon as I do that, um, okay, I think there is a bug. So when I fixed it, I may have messed something up. Okay, so I think the bug is right here. Let's see. Okay, I think the bug is right here. So this should not be here. This should be a pay rent, handle pay rent. Yeah, this should be up here. Where is it? Yeah, this should be up here. Okay, so as soon as this button is clicked, or this button is clicked, add a partner should, this function should be triggered. And this function, basically what it does, handle add partner, it calls the backend and makes modifications to the smart contract. So yeah, okay, so now I need to copy only this one over. Let's see if I can do that. I need to copy that over to the other nodes. Okay. Okay. Copy Bunyaan front end component. What do we have? Components. Smart contract detail. Okay, so let me do the same thing here. Okay. Okay, so if I come here, okay, let me try that again. Hopefully now it works. This is the nature of software development. Unexpected issues like this always pop up. Yeah, so it seems like there's the bug is somewhere else. Okay, so I need to fix that bug. Unfortunately, I cannot demo this aspect of the yeah. So whatever is happening, whatever is I messed up.
Could you help articulate that for me one more time? Where that bug is within?
Oh yeah. So basically, right here we have a button that's it's a conditional button right here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a variable that is set depending on the loan remaining. If the loan remaining is 0, then the pay rent button shows up for the person who has asked for money. They have received all the loan, and we assume that they have bought a house, and now they'll start paying rent. If the loan remaining is not 0, then what happens is it means that the loan is has not been granted in full. So partners or investors can still continue investing in the property, right?
Okay.
So basically, now this button, what um, we have different functions for. Basically, the way we have them here is we have a become a partner function and also a pay rent function, and they rent different HTML, right? If it's pay rent, it returns the a button with the pay rent HTML, and on click, this
It has a different
oh,
action.
okay. Yeah, I messed it up. This is backwards. So this has become a partner. This should be here, add a partner. And then this, since this is pay rent, this should come here. Okay, hopefully this is the issue. Okay, so yeah, so basically, yeah, so if the loan is there's no loan remaining, this button shows up, right? With and this action is performed when the button is clicked. And this basically is another function up here which calls the blockchain. Basically, it calls the this endpoint. And this is another function up here which calls another endpoint in the blockchain. Okay, so I hope this is the issue. Let's see. Okay, before I copy it all, copy it to the other nodes, let me see if it. Yes, that was the issue. You guys see it? Did you guys see how it changed? Yeah. So this is you know this is not disrespect to anyone, not to you, Brother Ahmed, or anyone else, but I think Brother Abdul Wahid and Brother Umair know about the concept of rubber duck programming, where you just you put a duck in front of you, and whenever you run into a bug, you start explaining the issue to the bug, and eventually something clicks. You figure out
Oh
what the
yeah,
problem is.
yeah. I was trying to ask to make sure I got the note down so we could put that in as a bug as an issue. But yeah, you re-articulating it for me helped resolve it.
Yes, exactly. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so now I can go ahead and copy everything over. This is it right here. Copy. Okay. Okay, so let's see if okay. Okay, so let's say I wanna lend, this node wants to lend 30,000 as well. Okay, let me do something. Let me start the servers for these as well. Restart the servers. Let me check whether ls more sort. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure that the changes were so the changes were not moved over. So that's why it's not. Maybe I'm copying the wrong ls. What did I copy? Did I copy the wrong? No, I didn't copy the wrong. Okay, so let me do something. I will remove. Let me remove it and re-add it. Okay. Copy. Oh, I'm copying it the wrong place. Okay. I'm copying it in this folder when it's supposed to be somewhere else. Okay, so so the place we need to copy it to is source components. This is where it needs to go. Now if I do, I should see the changes. Yes. Okay, so now that was a problem. Okay, source components. Okay, parent handle. Yeah, so this hopefully it's fixed. Okay, so let me start up the servers. 8001. Quit. Okay. Okay, so let me make sure that the new nodes have 3. Okay, they have all 3. Okay, so if I go to the Musharaka smart contract, I see that I have 30,000. If I go here, see all of these are updated with the correct loan amount. And this is also updated. So let's say we have another user who sees, oh, there's $60,000 left. Let me go ahead and lend $30,000. As soon as I do that, this gets updated. And once this happens, we have 2 pending transactions. So let me go ahead and add these pending transactions. So once I add those pending transactions, I get 4 blocks, right? And hopefully I get 4 blocks here too. And I should have 4 blocks here as well. Now this is remember I told you guys there's a bug that sometimes there's a race condition. I think this is that bug. That's why it didn't show up here. But now if I go to Musharaka smart contract, here, if I go to Musharaka smart investment, I only see the 30,000. You guys know why? Because I still haven't mined the transactions here. So if I mine transactions here, and I go back here, this only 30,000 is remaining. Yeah, so that bug is okay. So that bug I think is has caught up to us.
Quick question, inshallah, on
Yes.
the when you mine transactions, it looks like
Mhm.
it's, and I had tried over here, there's only the one button and it mines all the transactions that are listed, or is there like maybe I'm not understanding right, but can you mine one specific transaction?
Yeah, you can mine one per specific transaction, or you can mine multiple. So both will work, inshallah. So in this case, we have basically multiple blocks, and each of them has one transaction, or they could have two. For example, the last mining that we did, it had two transactions, if you remember.
Right. Yeah, I just
Um,
didn't know if there was availability to do one specifically,
yeah,
or
so
if that's even.
basically, as far as the limit, I am not sure what we need to obviously we need to set a limit, the minimum limit, right? People shouldn't be just mining with one transaction, but but for the time being, for the purposes of this demo,
Mhm.
it's fine. It's not a big deal. We're just trying to show like the what do you call it, the
The
basic
concept.
concept, and not necessarily like the all the details. But
Okay.
the multiple bugs have kind of prevented us from doing that, and I need to quickly do something. Let's do this, because at this point I'm not sure what has gone wrong because of all the changes that you've made. So
Brother, I have a question if you don't mind before we
yeah,
proceed. On the
yeah.
related note of mining transactions.
Hmm.
So is like for the POC or for the purposes of this demo, we're manually mining transactions. And apologies, I might have asked this question before. Eventually, the idea would be the blockchain would determine that there's enough transactions to be mined and automatically mined, correct?
So from my understanding, because mining transactions is is a task that the nodes perform, and different nodes basically are owned and run by different people, right? uh, as far as who decides to mine the transactions, uh, the blockchain itself will have no control over who decides to mine the transaction. Obviously, the network includes all the nodes, so in that sense, the blockchain is oversees everything. But as far as which node decides to, okay, hey, now I'm gonna exert some resources and I'm gonna mine transactions and contribute, so I can get the incentive. The blockchain does not, force any of the nodes to do that. The nodes have to do it willingly, and there's an incentive for them for mining transactions.
Right.
Now, uh, however, as far as whether there's a limit to how many transactions a node can mine, obviously, a real blockchain will have so many transactions that a node will not be able to mine every single transaction. So they'll be given the option to choose what transactions they want to mine. But I believe, I have not read this anywhere, but I believe the blockchain will enforce a minimum number of transactions per block, right? Because it wouldn't, if just every node decided to mine one transaction, we would have a bunch of blocks with each having one transaction, which is not the intended, um, expected. How should I word this? Which is not something ideal, right? You want the blocks want to have multiple transactions, and if you have one transaction per block, then you'll have a very long chain of blocks that only have one transaction. So I think the blockchain should enforce a minimum number of transactions per block, but how many transactions, the maximum number, I think is determined by the nodes themselves, and how much resources they want to use for mining transactions. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I cut in and out, but from what I understand is the blockchain does not enforce when blocks start the mining, or when nodes start mining a block, and there's no min max at this moment. I understand that part, but what I was thinking is at the end of the day, the each node is running the same code, right? And the code
Hmm.
can kind of dictate, like if the node is available, then take a bunch of transactions that are pending to start processing those, right?
Hmm. Yeah. So the node, yeah, the nodes will decide when, when they want to, mine the transactions. But maybe I'm not fully grasping the question. Maybe that's why there's
So
an
yeah. So what I'm trying to say is like essentially on the node side, the nodes wouldn't be, I'm guessing, like humans waiting for like monitoring transactions, waiting to hit a button or trigger a mine.
oh, okay, okay,
So
okay. I
so
got, yeah.
so the idea would be that the blockchain has the code, and if my node, my computer is up and running, and I'm purposefully running that node, right? So it
Hmm.
know like, and the blockchain knows, and my node has a copy of the blockchain, right? So it knows what
Hmm.
transactions are there. So it just like
Hmm.
picks up like whatever the block limit is, and the block limit is defined. Like from what my
Hmm.
understanding is, there's not like a different number that each node decides how many transactions to be in the block. There's not even a minimax. Like I think there's like a set number for each block, and
Hmm.
once those transactions are there, the mining for that block starts. So like
Yeah.
a running node would know like, okay, like there's 100 transactions there already. uh, or maybe like a block needs 150. So if there's 100, okay, I'm not going to mine. As soon as 150 becomes available, I'm going to start mining, right? Mining
Hmm.
for that block. And there might be like 300, 400, and that's to the CPU capacity, like how many blocks you can mine in parallel. Probably just one. And then the thing is, like if there's only 150 and multiple rows running, and that's what blockchains do, right? Like all the nodes will try to mine that block, but whoever gets it first gets the reward for mining that
Yeah.
block. They could be mining technically the same 150 transactions, but the idea
Hmm.
would be that if there's a node running, it's never idle, and it does not need manual interaction to kind of say like, okay, let now start mining. Right? That's
Yes. No, I
all
agree.
uh, controlled by the blockchain code running on the node.
Yes, no, I understand your question now. Yes, so basically the nodes that are actually mining, probably the owners of the node are not just constantly monitoring the transactions and clicking the buttons like we are, right? That is correct. You're right. They're probably have it automated somehow, and based on the rules and uh, the specs of the blockchain being used, based on the guidelines of the blockchain being used. They maybe are required to mine a certain number of transactions, or maybe they're not. So this depends on I think it may vary by different blockchains. But at the end of the day, yes, you're right. Most nodes, but I mean, it wouldn't be wise for nodes for the owners of the nodes to be doing this manually. So yeah, I see your point. But what I was my the reason I misunderstood your question was that you were saying the blockchain itself enforces different nodes to mine transactions, right? Or forces them to mine transactions. The blockchain doesn't force the nodes to mine transactions. The nodes do it by their own will because they want the incentive. There's something to gain from it. I think it's clarified now, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that. I think it's good for the viewers as well. And obviously, if someone's watching this and has something else to say, please feel free to leave comments and contribute to the conversation. So here, let me go ahead and start the smart contract and demo what I was trying to demo. Okay, so we said the amount is $100,000. I have put down 1,000, and the seller is River Agency. Okay, so begin transaction. If I go to pending transactions, I have a pending transaction, mine transaction. I have two transactions or two blocks. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and try to become a partner. I'm a different user now. I've logged in. I'm gonna become a partner. I'm gonna pay 30,000. Become a partner. Okay, so this is done. And then if you go to pending transactions, you'll see these transactions here. So these are the transactions for when the person invests. There are two transactions. This we can actually combine this into one transaction. Brother Abdul Wahid and I spoke about this earlier. So we'll do that later, but let me go ahead and mine this transaction. If I go here, we have three transactions, and we should have three transactions everywhere else as well. So if I come back to this node that did the investment, so there's $60,000 left. And if I come back here, I see the same thing here, and I see the same thing here, right? So let's say another user logs in, they want to invest in the house, they put in another $30,000. The loan remaining becomes $30,000. Depending transactions, again, we have two pending. Oh, I mined before I did the sync, but now we should have four blockchains, right? Okay, yeah. So it seems like that bug. I need to figure that bug out. But so basically, this is the idea, right? Once we have finished the loan, once the loan becomes zero, then the pay rent button shows up, right? So if I go here and sync transactions, mine transaction, we have another block. So now we have the loan remaining is zero, and if I come here, now I'm the borrower. I can start paying rent. The rent will be distributed over the three investors. Each invested 30%, so the rent will be divided accordingly and be sent to them that way. So this is basically the basic concept of it. I need to fix that bug, and I think we have that bug here somewhere. Issues. Hiding.
Under hiding the become partner button.
Become partner here. I don't see it.
When no more loan is needed from it. I see it under new, under the project, not under the issue.
Oh, under the project. Okay. Let's see, under the project. Okay, project Bunyaan.
So down the left side, new second one down.
This one hiding the become partner one. No. Yeah, so this one we fixed. So there's another. I remember I told you guys about that race condition. Yeah. So that's I think we need to add that issue. So I'll work on that for next week. But I hope the concept at least is clear, right? So we had three investors and they all invested. The loan became zero, and now the borrower who has logged in sees the pay rent button. Obviously, we're assuming that the title was transferred, the escrow was paid out, and all of that good stuff. Cool. Any questions about this?
I guess I might ask if Brother Ahmed or Abdul Wahid were able to run multiple nodes. My laptop is very slow, so I'm not going to share my screen to show you, but I ran the second node, right? I tried to run it on the, was it 8,000, no, 3001, and I would get these could not proxy requests from the Git chain from localhost 3001. So I was at trying to see if you had it there before, Imam Sohail or the other brothers.
Can you put the error in the chat, Brother Ahmed?
Well, once again, I'm on the Google Meets from my phone.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I can take a. Let me see if
Can you say read the error again?
Yeah. So I I did the started the node right on 3001, and then on the port 3000, I have 2 blocks. So then on 3001, there's the error twice. I assume that's because there's the 2 blocks it's trying to get the chain from, and it says proxy error, could not proxy request, and it gives the /get_chain. I think that's from your blockchains.py file. So it says
Go ahead, sorry.
could not proxy request the file /get_chain from localhost 3001 to the, and then it shows the server I'm running off of, the 8001 port. And then it says it sends you to the Node.js, and it says for more information, econ refused. ECONN refused, all one word. That's the error, I guess, from the Node.js.
Okay, so it seems like you're having the front end is having issues calling the API for some reason, the gate chain API.
So I didn't know if you had that before.
No, I haven't had that before. That's strange.
Yeah.
Did you run the latest code by any chance?
No, not since last week.
Okay.
You want to do that, and then I'll check in.
Yeah, let's do that. And also, I made a change here as well to the README. Basically, before I had npm start and then -- port 3000. Now here, I have changed that to port equals 3000, 3001, 3002 npm start.
Yeah, I can try that. Even here though, yeah, when I ran it the other way, it would tell me there's something already on the 3000 port, and it would move it over to 3001. But I'll try it like this. I'll try to get the latest.
Yeah. And also, did you change the proxy by any chance, or in package.json to the right port number?
I did. Yeah. So your README was right in that. Yeah. Let me try that again.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, maybe like when you have time, if you could, whenever you have time, let me know, and then we can quickly go have a, you could share your screen, and then I can see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess the only other thing would be just checking that Brother Ahmed and Abdul Wahid were able to see the project, see the list of issues, and the milestone that's set for the end of January, and kind of a recurring goal of, like you were saying before, of trying to fix one issue or address one item a week.
Yeah. So it seems like Brother Omer needs to go. So he will provide some updates on WhatsApp, inshallah. That's fine, Brother Omer. Inshallah, you can drop off whenever you have to go. Jazakallah khair.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, brothers. Inshallah, yeah, I'll be providing some update on WhatsApp with regards to their designs. I have some work done and I need to flesh out some more. But inshallah, I'll provide some update there, and Jazakallah khair for everything.
Okay. Jazakallah. Barakallah fikum. So Brother Ahmad, maybe could you quickly update Brother Abdul Wahid in the time remaining, because he wasn't here last week. I'm not sure if he watched the video, but like regarding the project and the plan for iteration and.
Yeah. So yeah, Brother Abdul Wahid, I mentioned it in the WhatsApp group, but we have the project created in Git and GitHub for this, where all of the issues or features and enhancements we've talked about before were added into this. We added the milestone for the end of January, inshallah, when we can start to not advertise, but showcase this to the Muslim community, and show this proof of concept. And so you probably had some email alerts that you had some some issues assigned to you, inshallah, like the adding NoSQL for the backend work. And we're trying to work on addressing one item a week. I don't know how much time you need for the NoSQL work though. I don't know if you've been able to see that.
Yeah. I looked a few emails, and I also looked at the repository. All the issues and bugs were added. Uh, yeah, I'm traveling right now, and also we'll be traveling the next week. So hopefully, once I come back to San Diego, and I should be able to start working on the issues assigned to me. And like I said before, December is the month that we have the change freeze in my company, so I'll have more time to look into this stuff.
Okay.
Inshallah.
So I think that might be the only one with you signed.
Yeah, hopefully
Signed
it shouldn't take long to get that done. Sorry, that's my daughter. Yeah,
No problem.
I'm keeping
So,
I'm keeping her to sleep. So, hold on.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So
If you can contribute to the project, let us know.
sure. Uh, yeah. So hopefully it shouldn't take that long. Um, and I was also like for database, I can probably spin up some containers in my local, but that stays in my local. So we would need some either cloud or something that we can host our database and connect our code to that database. What do you guys think? Like video
Um,
or database?
so I think as far as the database, I'm not sure if we want to make it because the blockchain itself is decentralized. So we excuse me, we may want to we may want to have I'm not sure. I have to look into this, to be honest with you. I haven't read up on how blockchains interact with databases, but I'm assuming having a decentralized, database system will work best with blockchain, where each blockchain instance has its own database, maybe. Um, like each node is running their own database, saving to their own database. Um, but I'm not sure. Like, I need to read up on this, because if we have like a single database for all the nodes, I think that kind of maybe defeats the purpose of having a decentralized network. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. I think I
but
can keep looking
but the
as well.
concept,
Yeah, good.
yeah, that would be good. Like, if you could do some research on it, that would be amazing. That would be really good. And but even even if I think the work that would require would be the same, whether whether we have one database, or we have decentralized, different, each node having their own database. Basically, it instead of having only one database, we can, the same thing will be applied to different nodes, or uh, different nodes will have what would otherwise be in a single database. You know what I mean? They will have their own databases. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Yeah. I think I got what you're trying to say.
okay.
Yeah, well, I can probably keep looking into that area and update in our next calls.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Um, Inshallah, Jazakallah khairan. And so yeah, so brother Ahmed, maybe like I am not sure if in the project section there's one sec. Let me look at it before I make any statements that I'll regret. Okay, so do we have timelines for each issue? Like, have we? So we have new, we have backlog, we have NQ. Okay. If we could if you could like start a document, or like if we can do it here, if we can assign deadlines to different issues, you know what I mean? Or maybe like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's kind of where I was maybe looking for some assistance with. Like I have them all. We have them all listed out, and I put in my what I thought to be the correct urgency level, but not too familiar with how much time would be needed for any particular issue or an enhancement, and if it's front end or back end, how you or Brother Omay would prioritize them. So for now, I thought I'd need input from you guys on that, inshallah. Well, get to understand how long things take normally.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think for the because like, to be honest with you, I don't think anyone has any knows exactly how some of these issues, how long they will take. Some of them may take only like 30 minutes, like the issue that we fixed on the call last week. Some of them may take longer. Let's just divide the issues based on the number and the timeline. For example, we have until January, the end of January, which gives us 60 day or 63 days. And let's say we have I don't know. Let's say you have 6 issues. We'll give. Or let's say we have 12 issues, because I think we're gonna add a few more, which gives us maybe like 10 days for every 2 issues, right? And then you can based on priority, you can say, okay, for the next 10 days, these are the highest priority issues. These are the issues that we're gonna work on for the next iteration. So
okay.
I think that's the simplest way, because determining exactly how long each issue will take may be a bit difficult.
Yeah, that's justified. And it's not like it's set in concrete. When we meet, we'll discuss, and if something needs more time or priorities change, we'll update.
Sounds good. Cool. I think we have reached our time. It's been an hour, maybe a bit more, over an hour as well. So if you guys don't have any other questions or comments or things that you think we should discuss, I think we can end the call.
I guess for me, the only thing would be sorry, Brother Abdul Wahid.
No, yeah, just to reiterate your question earlier about the proxy error. I'm not sure if you're trying to start the backend and front end at the same time or concurrently. Usually, you get proxy error if you're trying to start front end and you don't have a backend started.
Okay, and that it looks like maybe that might be the case. I think I had an error when I was trying to do the run server for the 8001 port, and I left to the next terminal. Well, I thought it launched. Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah,
that might be. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. How are you?
That makes sense. Alhamdulillah. Okay, sounds good. Brother Ahmad, do you have anything else?
No, that's all from me. Inshallah.
Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward both of you, and inshallah we'll continue next week. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
May Allah reward you as well.
Ameen. Ajma'in.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa
عليكم
barakatuh.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.